Each week, American Artifacts takes you to museums and historic places. We visited Woodrow Wilson's house in Washington, D.C., where the 28th president retired in 1921 after leading the nation through World War I and its diplomatic aftermath. He died here 3 years later. Executive Director Robert Enholm leads us through the house and highlights objects that provide a window into World War I as Wilson experienced it. The United States entered the war on April 6, 1917, as an ally of Britain, France, and Russia. 2 million American soldiers saw combat in France.
Here in Woodrow Wilson's library, as you might expect in a 100-year-old home, we have a whole range of artifacts that tell the story. This cabinet is full of gifts and mementos of Wilson's presidency, but maybe the most amazing and the one that relates most clearly to World War I is this pin and pin stand. The pin is the pin that Woodrow Wilson used to sign the Declaration of War in April of 1917. The way this would have worked, Wilson earlier that week had given a speech before a joint session of Congress. The House voted, the Senate voted, and then they brought him the Declaration of War 3 or 4 days later at the residence in the White House. And he and his wife Edith were having lunch, and it was like, where's a pen? And this is in an era before ballpoint pens. And Edith said, oh, here, use mine. It's a pearl-handled pen that was a gift from President Wilson to Edith Wilson. It sits on a pen stand that has a whole story of its own. It's, if you look closely, it's a walrus tusk that's been carved in the shape of a walrus with inlaid gold, and it was a gift from the Inuit tribes in Alaska to President Wilson. And again, just to remind us, this is before Alaska was a state, when it was a territory of the United States.